What is up, Midway Mayhem fans? This is Dan, and we are reporting it from Fun Spot America, more specifically Kissimmee, and of course our first stop is going to be the storage lot, and it's looking pretty barren here, even though we have a couple new deliveries here and there. We're going to walk around and see if we can notice anything different. Same situation this week. A lot of wood on site, but not much is missing, at least from over here. Over here looks like it's been ransacked a little bit. So yeah, more is going over to the main site though. Also over here in the storage lot, of course, is Hot Seat, and I do notice something is missing. There was something right over here, and it's that main spindle that attaches the arms to the tower and swings the ride. So that is missing, and it may be over on the construction site. We shall see a little bit later, but definitely some changes for Hot Seat. So we moved down just a little ways, and check this out. We have some gentlemen over here moving more supports over to the main site. They're picking and choosing what they want from over here and then heading over. Alright, so before we get over to the main site, there is something I want to show off besides the amazing first drop that is now in place. There's a couple guys up there, and then over here we have a gentleman with sights, and he's making sure everything is lined up just perfectly. Alright, so we're at the main construction site now, and of course we just saw our first view of the drop in place. And that thing is pretty steep looking. Everything else is looking pretty good also. A lot of workers all over the site today. We're going to walk around and show you what's going on. Alright, so we're getting a much closer look now at the construction site, and the double down is stopped right about where it was in our last update. However, that first drop right over here is about where it left off in our last update, and it now climbs all the way up in the air up to the very top over there. And at some point, the ride is going to cross right here because we have a bent in place, and then over here we have the lift also now going up higher in the air. And the station over here has a roof now, and there's all sorts of guys working on the railing. And we have a lot more bents on the ground over here, just waiting to go up very soon. Catwalks and railings are going in over here, as we have two gentlemen putting some in right now, heading up the lift. They've been applying a lot of wood to this area just since I've been here for the last couple minutes. We're at the base of the double down now, getting another look at what's going on here, and our first piece is a laminate for the actual ride track is in place, and we have a lot of work going on with the speed hill and the brake run, but of course the main focus is right here with that first drop. And check out how steep that is, guys. It looks very nice. We have a couple workers up at the very top securing a couple supports, but overall this is really impressive for Mind Blower, guys. Different from our last update, the support structure for the first drop and lift hill has extended out a little bit over here, and that means, well, they should have the lift hill completed very soon in the next couple weeks, and this whole track layout should be done sometime around the 1st of May. We can also see, in addition to the lift hill over here, where it is starting to do the turn into the 360-degree barrel, as we have a couple guys right over there. Well, we can see it turning. Now we're getting a view from the north end of the ride, and crews are still up on that first drop, but we're getting a look over here at that 90-degree bank turn, and it stopped right about in the same place as our last update, but we do have the laminate in place for where the track layout is going to be. So yeah, really steep, gonna be amazing. See right there, we're almost at 90 degrees. We're at about 88, 87 degrees so far. A little bit further down now on the construction site, we see something else that's going on, as Hot Seat is over here again. So it looks like they're putting it back together, and very soon that's going to be heading over to the main site. Alright, so you remember in our last couple updates how we said we were waiting for parts? Well, parts have arrived, and they are now going on to Hot Seat right here. So they're reassembling it, and it's looking very nice. We're inside the park now, getting a look from the south end of the ride, and everything is looking beautiful. And we have the roof right here for the station. That was in our last update, but it was not in place just yet. But it's up there now, and crews are busy at work right here on this first turn leading into the lift hill area. And then, of course, that first drop right over there, looking awesome. And we have a bunch of vents right over here on the ground, waiting to go up, and those are going to be next. Another low-lying vent, this one only about maybe 10 feet off the ground. Looks like we have an electrical line over here, but this is not going to be for Mine Blower. This is actually for Hot Seat. Again, I think it's a little bit steep, don't you?
Next year, the Oprah, we can ride that next year.
And of course, we're going to check up on our CGI rendering of the ride and see where we are. Again, station as of right now, right there is done. And lift is to about right there. And then over here for the first drop, so we have from about right there, leading all the way down to about there. And then we stop right about here. This turn is in place partially. But yeah, everything is looking really nice. And from the very north end of the ride from inside the park, we're getting our look at that turn right here, where it's going to be eventually a 90-degree bank, and then the rest of that drop right there, looking very nice. From this view, we can see the rest of the double down and the lift right there, as well as the turn leading right over the top of the station for that 360-degree barrel. And it's time now for our aerial view of Mind Blower's construction site, and we can get an awesome view right here of the first part of that drop, where it's starting to do a little bit of a hill, and then it's going to be diving down. So we have the rest of it that's going to be curving around and connecting over here to where the lift is. So that's the lift over here going up. Another ride bent right there. And then of course we have the turn going over the station for the 360-degree barrel. Looking very good there. Double down right here, and that bunny hill leading into that 90-degree bank turn. Again, everything from in the air looks very nice. Good news, everybody. These Soaring Eagles are back in operation from their little maintenance. I know the real reason why you guys watch. It's for Fun Spot Kitty, and some of you have asked if Fun Spot Kitty lives here. Well, she does. She has food bowls right here, but we have no sighting of her today. All right, I take it back. We have a confirmed sighting of a Fun Spot Kitty sunbathing right now. Well, we made our way over to Hot Seat, and everything looks about the same as before. Pad is still ready for the ride. We have the shot tanks in place. Footers are right here. We do have some electrical lines that are new, and plumbing for the air system as well. But for the most part, Hot Seat, still the same. In our last update, we showed that Hot Seat was getting some electrical work, and here it is right now with a copper tube, and this is 4 inches thick and 400 feet long. And why is that? Because it requires a lot of power, and there's just not enough right over here in this location, so they're getting it from somewhere else. More parts heading over right now to the site. Well guys, that is going to do it for another Fun Spot America construction update for the Gravity Group roller coaster known as Mind Blower. As we saw, the station now has a roof. Double down is looking good. The lift is rising higher into the air, and of course now we have that first drop in place. A good portion of the ride is in now, and we also saw Hot Seat is about to head over, and they're doing a bunch of work for that. We're going to have more updates from here, so if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Midway Mayhem, and I will see you out on the Midway.